guys on Beer Geek Nation, we are looking at a beer from Miller Brewing. This is Miller Fortune, coming in at 6.9% alcohol by volume. It's an amber lager, and when I saw this one, I had to try it. They brewed this beer to basically mimic the flavors of bourbon. They say you're supposed to drink it, in one of the snifter glasses and everything. They kind of brewed it to get in that scene of new craft beer drinkers who also drink spirits. So, got to give a big thanks to Jeff for hooking me up with this one. I just had to try it. So let me get into a glass, let you guys know how it smells, tastes, and give you the final verdict on Miller's Fortune. All right, guys, see the aroma on the Miller Fortune. Typical adjunct lager, wet cardboard, cream corn, lots of booziness coming off this one. A subtle kind of underlying sweetness to it. But yeah, I mean, you've smelled this beer before if you've had an adjunct lager. All right, guys, so the taste on the Miller Fortune. Cheers. Oh, that is not good. Wow, right at the front of the tongue. That wet cardboard, cream corn, weird sweetness that I always get in these types of beers. There's booziness to it in the middle of the mouth. There's sweetness. There's this weird fake toffee kind of sweetness in there. Maybe a little bit of burnt sugar to it. Again, more cream corn, aftertaste. I'm getting that wet cardboard, grainy, adjuncty, just, you know it, like a stale type of flavor, but there's more of it because it's 6.9%. There's more of that off flavors. To how dare they say this taste is supposed to taste like bourbon. It's gross, absolutely terrible. Ugh. All right, guys, so the final verdict on the Miller Fortune, 6.9%, available now, I'm assuming year-round. This one is getting an F. This is one of the worst beers I've ever had. I'm usually willing to let these American adjunct lagers go, the light ones, the Millers, the Coors, the Budweisers, because they are what they are. They're very well brewed. There's hardly any off flavors. There's hardly any flavor at all. So that is what they are. That's the style. When you take that beer and you try to make it something it's not, when you try to up the flavor, and only the flavors that you're upping are the bad ones, it just reflects poorly and it just tastes terrible. Like I said, how dare they say this is supposed to reflect the flavors of bourbon? It doesn't have the complexity of bourbon, it doesn't have the flavor or the taste at all of bourbon, and I don't recommend this at all. This is one of the worst beers I've ever had. Probably, off the top of my head, this is probably the worst beer I've ever had. It's terrible, terrible stuff. Sorry, Jeff, but thank you anyway. I'm glad I didn't have to spend money on this one. It's awful. Getting an F from me, and remember, folks, life's too short. Go pour this thing down the drain.